dear viewers. This is Shivapriya here. Get ready to begin a new journey with me where I will be exploring the existing but with a new perspective. Yes, you heard it right, new perspective. When I think of this word, the first thing I recollect is my first English class of IB taken by Bindu ma'am. She has always been a teacher who never spoke about grades or marks over my entire 2 years journey of IB. What matters to her is how we develop our thought process, our approach towards a discussion in class, and above all, our perspectives and why we had them. Being unconventional in nature, she always welcomed new ways of learning. She tells her students the best way to learn is unlearn and relearn. Besides being an English teacher, I had the opportunity to work with her with my extended essay and observe her role as a principal. I will remain ever grateful to her for believing that I can write a research essay in English and do possess the capacity to do it. This Teacher's Day, I want to pay my tribute to her for guiding me from darkness to light. So, today I'm going on a surprise visit to meet her, where we'll find out from her more about her journey about being a teacher.
Thank you, Shivapriya. This has been a pleasant surprise. I think this is the first time that somebody has come home like this, to ask for an interview. And then, of course, Teacher's Day is coming over the weekend, and I feel it's something. It's a novel idea. I think it's the first time. Of course, I have sat with the editorial board on their interviews. It was never like this. Thank you for thinking of something like this.
Thank you, ma'am, actually, for agreeing to do this with me. To begin with, what is your motivation that is making you stronger every day to keep on teaching with the same enthusiasm?
I love my subject. I think that is my greatest motivation. The fact that I teach literature, English literature. So every day I'm reading, every day I'm learning, and then every day when I go to the class, I feel I have something new to say. I think that is my motivation. The fact that I myself do my homework very well, not because I have to do it, but because I love it.
That is true, ma'am. So, moving on, as a teacher, you started with ICSE and then moved on to the IB curriculum. What's your greatest learning from this paradigm shift?
Yeah, it's not only ICSE. I did have my tryst with CBSE and other national curriculums for some, very, very, very brief time. Of course, I taught ICSE for a longer time. But then when I came to the IB, there was a particular period when I thought I knew everything. And like, I was very, I was a perfect teacher. I think every teacher thinks like that some or the other time with experience. But the IB put me on a different kind of because I had to do a lot of scaffolding work. I had to unlearn and relearn things that I had learned. Because in the approaches to teaching and learning, there were a lot of changes.
That's a great insight, ma'am. So, from a teacher, you transition to a principal as well.
Yeah.
What challenges do you face in everyday life holding such a prestigious designation?
Yeah, definitely it's a challenge because administration is a lonely place. So, but I think that gap between teaching and administration could be bridged because I also go into the classroom. So I was never an alien to my students, because they knew me and I taught everybody. So I felt because of the fact that I knew them, I could convey instruction to them or give them the right guidance in the right way without being overbearing because I was also their teacher.
Yeah. That reminds me of your famous catchphrase. I was on the other side of the table too. And I think that statement is what convinced all of us many a time.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
How has the schooling system and teaching changed from your schooling days to the time you began your journey as a teacher and to now?
Yeah, I went to some of the good schools because I was studying at Ooty, Nilgiri, so I've gone to some good schools. But then we are old school finally, and there was again the traditional practice. Our teachers were great, they were good subject experts, but then they were not acclimatized to new strategies of teaching or thinking and approaches. So I think in that way, this IB was a real paradigm shift because we were, teaching students how to think, the how question was a big question. So that for that we had to, do a lot of work and prepare teachers at least, every day that becomes, what new today, what will be in store in class today was something that is something very constant, consistent, but now by default, we have fallen into that kind of a practice of thinking of new ways.
Yeah, that reminds me of instilling the learner profile values of IB. So that might be the greatest challenge presently for you today.
Yeah, yeah.
You have mentioned quite a few times your grade 12 students acted as your guide and mentors. Could you elaborate on one such scenario?
Yeah, because when they from grade 11 to grade 12, they really become mature. They become mature through their learnings and through their experiences, because not experiences in the classroom via the things that they learn, and via lot of research, experimentation, and community service. And they come to a position. I've seen the IB students especially. They come to a position when they become great mentors, and they're fine people, and I feel they carry, at least I'm very blessed to see that all my students have been good, great human beings. That I'm very proud of.
That's really heartwarming to know, ma'am.
Yeah.
Do you consider it important for a teacher to be current updated with not only respect to their field but other fields also?
Definitely, a teacher, not every field maybe, but at least you should know a little bit of what's happening in the other subjects, because interdisciplinary and interconnected learning is very important today. I do not want to draw too many examples, but that is very, very good that some things that happens in another subject.
Because after all, every subject, those subjects have been categorized for a reason, but they're all originating from one source and they have an interdisciplinary binding agents which we should not forget.
Yes, of course, of course. It makes learning very interesting, and the interconnected learning and drawing the dots and connecting dots becomes very interesting for students.
When that is done, the learning actually becomes holistic.
Yes.
Each year, you have 2 to 3 students doing their extended essay with you. Could you comment on your journey of playing the role of a supervisor in a research essay?
Students become very connected to their extended essay supervisors because they spend longer hours with them. At the same time, I teach literature, so those who come to my subject itself to do a research essay are already students who come from with certain kind of potential. Like, they are students who have some kind of reading habits. They have read throughout their life. So those are the kind of students who actually come to me for that. So probably for me it is a little more easier to tap into their certain qualities. So, and of course I teach them a lot of research methodology, and then I too learn in that process, because every day you do not remember everything that you learn. So for me also every day some door keeps opening through this kind of research that they too will share and discuss, and finally before they craft the paper.
Each essay you have guided, I think, gave you a new perspective on the same book, ma'am.
Yes, yes, of course. Because see, if you look at the titles that we have done, yes, on this, it could be the same book, but then the perspective and the lens through which you looked at a work was always unique and different.
In today's generation, not many aspire to become teachers, and who aspire are bound with other obligations. What is your opinion on this, and what, according to you, might be the reason behind it?
Yeah, people do not look into teaching as a very big profession, maybe in our country, because they connect it with the monetary aspect of it. But things have changed now, because there is good, handsome pay packages in teaching also, and tutors and teachers and tutorials and all, they have shaped society in a different way. Of course, in the olden times, things were very different, because you always remember the umbrella laden teacher with the stick who lived in a poor house but who was noble in his character. But of course, today's teacher is a composition of many things, and because society has changed. And I think I would request all of my students to at least take up some part of their, some part of their life they should allot to, teaching. Like, there are a lot of programs in our country, like rural programs, Teach India programs, where you can volunteer and do a little bit of teaching. That would, add greater quality and greater meaning to their own lives.
Yeah. We should definitely give back from what we have received, ma'am.
Exactly. Students like you can definitely do that.
Sure, ma'am.
Yeah.
I would definitely. Every profession has a bright side and a dull side. Could you please tell me one positive and one negative aspect of being a teacher?
Yes, one is, the positive thing is you are always dealing with young minds. So you are always, you are updated, you are trendy, you die young. I think that is something very positive. Negative, of course, when you're going into the class, you're taking the challenge of a classroom. And there are diverse kind of students who come from different backgrounds. and how they interpret a certain, something that you have said could be, could be different. So you should be a little careful about the words that you speak, especially to the younger generation. I think that is a challenge. You have to be a little careful these days because you can be read wrong.
Misinterpretation
Yeah,
can be very
it
easy
can-
at
it
the
could
age
be,
because
it
of
could
the
be,
adolescence.
It could be, yeah.
Lastly, how would you describe your journey of over 20 years of being a teacher in 3 words?
It was a very enlightening journey, of course. It had always been enlightening because every day I learned something new. It was very exciting because I was dealing with literature, and I feel any literature student would say that it was exciting, and at the same time it was rewarding. I don't want to be very blatant about it. It had always been a rewarding journey in any way, in all its aspects.
I think it's been really a great interview with you, ma'am, and we have come to the end of it.
I would also like to wish all the teachers, not only in my school or all over the city and all over the world, a very happy Teachers' Day because they are doing they are doing this kind of a noble profession, and I feel, you're shaping the destiny of a nation and young minds in the classroom, and God bless them.
I think we can conclude with that,
Yeah,
ma'am.
and of course we are, always incomplete without our students.
Yeah.
So they must always be there. Thank you.
On behalf of the student fraternity, I would like to wish all my teachers and any teacher anywhere happy Teachers' Day.